रामो राजमणिः सदा विजयते रामं रमेशं भजे रामेणाभिहता निशाचरचमू रामाय तस्मै नमः रामान्नास्ति परायणं परतरं रामस्य दासोऽस्म्यहम् रामे चित्तलयः भवतु मे भो राम मामुद्धर राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने अथ श्रीमहासूत्राणि अयुंग रुक एयोंग अयौच हयवरच लण्य ञमङणनम जबै घड़दश जबगड़दश कफ छ छ छ छ च तव कपै शशसर हल इति महासूत्राणि. Okay, so last time we're looking at the rung lakara, which is in a way one of the easiest to derive the forms and also the least important, because it is very rarely used. Let me put the page up here. In Gita there are no usage of rung. Even in Devi Mahatmam there are no usages. I think Ramayanam has maybe a few, maybe only a handful. I think Kalidas has used a couple of places. So it's very easy to identify because you have the adagamaha, lung lung rung shvarudata, 6471. So we do have the adagamaha and you have the siya pratyaya. That makes it very easy to identify, And even the usage is also that if something would have happened, something else would have happened, but the speaker knows that both of them either did not happen or will not happen. So this is used, this can be used bhavishyatyarthe athva bhutearthe, bhuteapi. It can be used in the signify the past or maybe the future also. So the adagama, of course, as you all know, we have used many times. Lung, lung, rung, shodadataha. Out of which so far we had learned only the lung lakaraha. Now we are learning the rung lakaraha, which is the second one we are learning. And the same thing, ardajadi nam, of course, will apply here also. But still we have no, see the main kind of difficulty in this 6471 is between the lung and the lung. That's why you have to think. Because between the lung and the rung, you have the siya pratyaya and rung, you don't have it in the lung. So it will be very easy to identify the rung. So in 6471, when you see the adagamaha, so then the rung is easy. It is either there or it's not there. If siya is there, it's not there. It's there. But between lung and the lung, the main distinction, as you know, in the lung lakaraha, you'll get the shabadeha, ganavikaranaha, ganavikaranani. They will come because you'll get, either get agachat, abhavat, so like that. Otherwise, if it's lung lakara, you'll get like agamat, abhut. The ganavikaranam will not be there in the lung lakara. It will be in the lung lakara. Anyway, right now we are only looking at rung lakara, which is the third one in that sutram, and that will be in the siya pratyaya because of syatasi lutoho. That in the 3133 syatasi lutoho. That includes the rit as well as the rung. That is the reason why the siya pratyaya is coming in both. So the angam is going to be similar. And that's what the book is saying. If you look at what the book is saying is that the conditional is formed from the simple future, which what he means is the lit lakara, exactly as the imperfect is formed from the present of the first conjugation. Because when you get the form gacchati, you remove, you make it agachat, apply itascha sutram and make it agachat. Similarly, when you see the form gamishyati, you make it agamishyat. So the same transformation. Why same transformation? Because the same shabadeha ganavikaranani, which they come in the lat lakara, they'll also come in the lung lakara. So the gum becoming gacha or bhu becoming bhava, all those will be the same in lat and in lung. Similarly here, when we get the sya pratyaya, the gum becoming gamishya or the bhu becoming bhavishya or pat becoming patishya, all will be the same whether looking at rit or rung, the same transformation. That is why this thing works. That's why it's so easy. And the same rule which we saw before for the Shya Pratyaya, they're going to apply here equally in the Lung Lakara also. Same Shya Pratyaya is coming here. No reason for it to be different. Okay, so let's derive these forms. Let's go through it one time just as an exercise for us, though it's going to be same, not much difference from what we saw before. Let us take a, and last time I made a mistake over here in the CA which Karthik corrected me, which is good. Any mistake I make, please correct me. And second thing is always disclaimer is anything which I say, you should always check with the Siddhanta Kaumudi or Kashika or Mahabhashyam if you can, or of course Bhaymi Vyakhya and people like that, because whatever they say is authority. And sometimes I make mistakes. Always check with what they have to say. Okay, let's take a simple dhatu like pat. Just derive these forms in ending. Should be quite straightforward, but we'll do it. So what we are basically doing now is combining the rules that we have learned for the Rit Lakara, which will bring the Sya Pratyaya and do the Angakaryam. And then sutra like itascha, nityam nitaha, which we saw in the Lang Lakara. When we combine these two, we can get all the rules that we need for the Lung Lakara. So there's really no new rules. No new rules. Same old rules. Not a single new rule that we need. So, because the Nit Sambandhi Karyam, which we saw in the Lung, the same thing in the Lung. And the Sya Pratyaya, whatever we saw in the Rit, same thing in the Lung. No new rules. No new. If you look at here, I put no new rules over here. Only 6471 is Adagamaha, and these are of course for the meaning which we'll see later on as we derive these forms. So okay, let us start. Let us take a simple dhatu. Take a dhatu like pat. Let us see. Okay, let us do one the long way, and then we can do the other. So if you take the dhatu pat, I'm sorry. Let's see. Try to remove the. Okay, so so pat plus lung. Let's start with that. Okay. Okay. The first thing, of course, you do the halantyam upadesha junanasika it lasya tiptasji. Let's count for any lakara prakriya which you do. Tinganta prakriya is the same steps. Always start with the dhatu plus the lakara, whatever it might be, lat, lit, lut, etc. And next thing is you remove the letters. And third thing is it apply sutram lasya tiptasji. So that is always the first 2-3 steps. Even if you know nothing, this much you can do. The thing about the lakara, the thing on the prakriya is that if you know enough steps, you can always reverse engineer the form that you see in the language. You don't have to know all the rules. If you know some key rules, that will be enough for you to make a good guess, at least what the dhatu might be, what the lakara might be. Then you got the meaning. So once you got the meaning, if you're reading, if you don't know all the details, it's okay. And then also that gives you enough to look it up. So once you got the dhatu, of course you can go to, dhatu vritti or, Siddhanta Kaumudi or, you can always look up, fill in the details. You don't have to know all the rules. So that's the good thing. See, this thing on the prakriya works like, like mathematics. If you know some steps, you can make a good guess at the answer. Okay, so let us do that. So far all we have done is we've done halantyam, upadesha jananasika it, and then this 3, 4, 78 tiptasji yatha yogyam. So as per the vivaksha of the vaktu, that's whatever intention is. So let's, and again in Panini it starts with tiptasji. In the English you put the first person with Uttama Purusha as the beginning one. Let's follow the Panini way, so we'll put tip as a pratyaya because dhatu is a parasipadi dhatu. So applying this, I won't put the numbers for the it letters. I think you all know that so far. I mean you know already, I should say. So pat plus tip. So we have applied 3, 4, 78. Okay. Now the next thing we want to do is that because of the sutam syatasi lutoho, because this tip has sthanivat bhava, it came in place of the lung. So it is a lung. It has the properties of lung comes with it. So we can bring in the sya pratyaya now. by 3133 Shatasi Lulato. Same steps as we had so far in the Lut, doing the same steps here, nothing special. So we make it Pat plus Sya plus Tip, of course Halantyam, so remove the it letter. So I use 3133. 133. Okay, now the next step is that, of course, check for the idagamaha. In this, no, this is a set dhatu, very straightforward. So we can put pa, tha, then isya, ti. So that is just by the usual 7-235. Adadhatika shed valadehe. Adadhatika shed valadehe. It's just all practice for us, practice, only way to learn. So, patisya ti. In the meanwhile, we can now also bring in the adagama lung lang lung shvadudataha 6471. So then we get this this whole thing. Just put the adagamaha. For the adagamaha, this entire thing is antarangam. The patisya ti is antarangam. So you should not mess with the adagamaha or the adagamaha at all until you finish all of this, because that is this adagama was applied to all this as a bracket. So this bracket is internal. So leave the adagama always out until you finish all of this work. Then only if there's anything to be done with adagamaha, so that's why you keep it out. Okay, now what else do we need? We need the sutram itascha. So far we applied the same rule which is on the rit lakaraha. We brought in the adagamaha by 6471, which is lung lang lung shvadudataha. So that is special for these three lakaras only. That's why Antoine is saying this is a mix and match. So mix and match rules for the rit and rules for the lung. When you combine these two rules, you can get all the rules for the lung. As simple as that. So 6471 was used, and now we use another nit sambandhi karyam, which is the nit lakara sambandhi karyam, which is the itascha. Itascha. So let's go through that for a second, and we get. So if you look at this 3492, 34, and as I mentioned to you also a few times, is the lasya adhikara. All these are nitya karyani. You don't have to think about viprati and all that. Nachintaniyam. So these are all to be done immediately. You can do these. Nobody stops these things. They're always to be done. So nityam, itascha, because anuvritti of nyata is coming. 3, 4, 100 is the ending ikaraha. Takes lopaha. So that is what is coming here. So 3, 4, 100, and we get the final form. But we have to apply one more rule in the tripadi, which is the shatvam, which I think all of you know. So I just put the final form here. Pa, ti, shat. Apatishat. So we applied the 3, 4, 100, and then in the tripadi, adesha bhattayoho, murdhanya shakar adesha. So apatishat. So that is the meaning. Means if he would have, she, it would have read. If he would have read, something else would have happened, but then both did not happen. The speaker has to know that. We see the usages coming up. So so that is the final form of pratisha. So that is, let's connect with the book now. And the book is saying is syat pratyaya. So the only thing that the same thing we did just now, we went through all the long steps. Only itascha rule we used because the lakara is n as an it, and of course the sya came in because of the r in there. These two things. Okay, now let's do the next one. Sya tam. So what is the common work here? Samanya karyam. The samanya karyam is going to be the apatisya. Apatisya is a common work. Of course, we should not do it like that. Technically, we should do all the steps, but as a practical matter, because the is bahirangam, should keep it outside, and all those things. But at the end of the day, we're going to have apatisya, as nothing is going to change in that. The sya is going to come, idagama is going to come, idagama for the sya is going to come, adagama is going to come for the whole thing, patisya. So we can keep that and only now keep on adding the pratyas. So let's keep this as common work. And now the pratyaya is, in this case, next pratyaya is tas. The dual form in third person is going to be tas. So let's put that here. I'm sorry, I missed out this one. Okay, the partition is going to be common work. Okay, partition tas. That's what we have now. Partition tas. Okay, now comes tas tas tamipam tam tam tamaha. Tas tas tamipam tam tam tamaha. Okay, what is that now? That is again a rule in 3.4. Same rule that we saw in the lung lakara. Nothing new. Same rule that we saw in the lung lakara. It is here. Tas, thas, tha, mipam, yatha sankham. These four pratyayas, they get respectively replaced by tam, tam, ta, and tam, tam, tamaha. So in this case, we are talking about tas. Tas will be replaced by tam. So 34101, because the lakara is known as an it, the same sutram which we saw in the lung lakara, same sutram comes here, nothing new. So we put 34100, and we get the final form apartishyatam. Apartishyatam. Okay, so let's put this here, apartishyatam. I should take this one, one thing. Again, the shakara is in the tripadi karyam, so remember that. Always keep a distinction in your mind about the sapa saptadhyayi karyam and the tripadi karyam, because only the output of the sapa saptadhyayi goes into the, tripadi section. So, okay, let me clean this up. Right, let me see. We get apartishyatam, tas tas tamipam, tam tam tamaha, tas tas tamipam, tam tam tamaha, tas tas tamipam, tam tam tamaha. Okay, so we got the second form, and that also we can check in the book, which gives here tam. Oh, that's the one. The next one, what do you have? Same common word, apartishya. Then we get G, jivantah. Jivantah, the number is 713. The J as a default becomes ant. So when we do jivantah, then we got apartishyanti. And of course, atogune. Okay, so let's put these steps. So jivantah was 713, jivantah. And we got apartishya plus anti. And then atogune, because between the and the we get the pararupam ekadesha, atogune. Only the guna letter remains the and yeah, the ekadesha. Okay, so let's see. So we had now looking at the plural form, we got pa, thi, sha. I'm doing the tripadi karyam already because I think with the understanding that technically speaking we should wait to do the murdhanya adesha. And so we got anti by using jivantah 713, and then we use the atogune to between this akaraha and this akaraha, because ataha with non-padanta akara we have, followed by a gunavarna letter which has this guna sanya, which is adeng gunaha, in pura parayoho ekadesha pararupam. And for this is easy for many of you now, but it doesn't hurt to repeat, because I hope that some of you will start teaching, and you can repeat these things, they stick in your head. So let's take this one and make this apartishyanti, and then the same rule itascha. The same rule itascha will apply, which is the ending ikaraha will go away. So we use atogune, non-padanta akara, followed by letter which has guna sanya. Then we get the pura parayoho ekadesha as pararupam, rupam ekadesha, and we get apartishyanti, and then itascha. Itascha will make it into apartishyant. And finally, we have to go to the tripadi and do sanyogantasya lopaha. So we get a partitioned. That was by itascha. Same rules we apply in lang lakara. When we took for example dhatu pat, apatan when we do. Nagaraj is the question. Okay. Good to see Nagaraj is paying attention to Vyakaranam. Very good. I'm happy to see
No,
that.
it's a simple question. Maybe I am not following.
Yes.
In the first list that has got all sya, and then we convert to sya. And where do we do that? That is the 6471.
This was the one that I put here. This one 8359.
Oh, 8359. Okay.
That's good, because it says the adesha pratyayo. If you have a dantya sakara, which is either an adesha or a pratyaya avayava, it should be either a substitute or a part of an affix. In this case, it's a part of sya.
Right.
And if preceding that we have either the in pratyahara or the ka varga. In this case, we have the e. So that is the in letter that we have prior to that. Like we have Rameshu, right? Rameshu we have.
Right.
But we have Sita Su.
Sita, right.
Because the Sita Su, that A is not in the in. Rameshu, that A is in the in.
E and A, yeah.
And in both cases, that Su is a pratyaya. And the Sakara is a part of the pratyaya. That's how it becomes. So it's 8359, yeah.
Okay,
I kind of skipped that. Technically, we should wait for that. That is going to be the last step. That is the latest rule in the Tripadi section. But I did that first just with the understanding that, I think we know what's going to happen. But yeah, so it should come as the last step actually, that one.
Okay.
So that is the last rule in the Tripadi section. Okay, so what do we have here? Now we got this. We should do Itaschana we have done, which is 3, 4, 100. Same rule we applied in the lang lakara. When we got the form apatan, we applied all these same rules. So good practice. And then sanyogantasya lopaha. So we finally get a pa thi shan. And at this point we should have applied the adesha pratyayoho. That should be the last step. So really at this point 8359 should have applied over here. Okay, so a partition, and that's what we got in the book here. So if you want to put in the book, you can put here the itascha 3, 4, 100 and sanyogantasya lopaha, which is 8223, and double check that number. I'm pretty sure sanyogantasya lopaha. So 8223, yes, sanyogantasya lopaha. Okay, now the next one is saying syaha. So same thing, apartishya sip itascha. Apartisyas, and of course sasajusho ruho karavasanayo visarjaniyaha apartishya. If you want, I can put in the document, but all same old rules. I think there should be no question. It should be very straightforward. So we'll just take the same form. I just put the numbers over here, and we can move on. Itascha Sutram we already used today, and of course you all know the Sasajusho Ruhu and Karavasanayo Visarjaniyaha. I think Sarvaihi Nyatam is known to all of you. So we used Itascha 3, 4, 100, followed by Sasajusho Ruhu, Karavasanayo Visarjaniyaha. We got Apatishyaha. Okay, next one is the, next one we got the Apatishya. Apatishyatam. Same thing again, the pratyaya was thas, because of tastamipam tam tamaha. 3, 4, 101. That thas went away and become tam. That's the only transformation. Same thing, these three places between the tam, the tam, and the ta, these are always these go together. In lakaras which have the ka, the kavarga panchama as an it, these three places, they always are going to go the same. If you got one, you got the other. Only thing, this will be tam, this will be tam in the Madhya Purusha Dvivachanam, and the Madhya Bahushanam will be ta. The same sutram. There's no speciality between these three. There's no speciality at all. Actually, even this will you can go. The only thing here you need to make the atogune, make the sham. Otherwise, these three are very straightforward. This one also is the same. So these four really go together. These four. But this is at least a pit pratyaya. There might be something different happening back here sometime. Of course, not in our case because we have only sya back there. But these three are going to be all the same. Because this is a pit pratyaya, there might be something happening in the angam back there, which we have to think about. But in these three, there's nothing special. So if you got one of these three in a mit lakara, you're going to get you can almost close your eyes and just do the other two. The same sutram 3411 tas tas tamipam tam tam tamaha. So we can take the same form that we had for the Prathama Purusha Dvivachanam and put the same form for the Buddha Purusha Dvivachanam and Bahuvachanam. So let me see. So this one which we had here, apartishyatam, I can take that same thing and put it down here as the second person dual and also second person plural. Same thing, second person plural. Okay, so we are going to make it apartishyatam as the form in the second person dual, then apartishyata in the second person plural. So that finishes that. And then when we come to the Uttama Purusha Ekavachanam, as in same sutram tasastramipam tam tam tamaha, so you got apartishya plus The mip becomes then you can do atogune, and again you can do the same thing between the apadanta karaha and the following varana letter which has the gunasanya. Pura parayoho ekadesha is the pararupam, apartishyam. So only thing you had to use 6197 in addition to 34101. 34101. Otherwise, very similar. Again, all these rules are the same rules that you have to use in the lang lakara. So very easy. Okay, so let's put that down here. Let's see. So apartishyam. Apartishyam. Mip became and then amipurvaha. That gives us the final form apartishyam. 34101 and 6197. This thing on the Prakriya is the best place to practice all Panini rules. Best place. If you can get this down, then other things, the Prakriya will be easy for you. You may not know which rule to apply to get with which pratyaya. Once you get the pratyaya, you can finish the forms. So pay attention to this. You can grind this out. Keep on grinding. I did this for 3 years with my teacher. I did this for 3 years. I used to do every week, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. We should just do every lakara. But that time it was painful. But now I'm very happy that he made me do that, because it really gives you very firm grounding in this Paniniya Shastram. Thing on the Prakriya. Okay, then next one, Syava Syama. Syava Syama will have a different role, which is the Nityam Nitaha. Nityam Nitaha. Let's go to the Ashtadhyaya. Nityam Nitaha again come in the same section in the Lasya Adhikara. Nityam Nitaha. Uttama Purushasya. Get the Antya Sakarasya Lopaha. Ending sa of the was and must. The ending sa goes away. And then of course you got Ato Dirgho Yain. Ato Dirgho Yain becomes Syava Syama, because the wa and the mo are in the Yain Pratyahara. So let's do step by step. Let's first apply the Nityam Nitaha, Nityam Nitaha, Nityam Nitaha, which is coming over here. C499. Saha Uttamasya. Uttama Purushasya Sakarasya. You can get Lopaha. So that's 3499. And then we have to apply Ato Dirgho Yain. Ato Dirgho Yain. That is Sarvadhatuke Pratyaya. So you have a Yayadi Sarvadhatuka Pratyaya. In that case, and the Angam ends in short which we do have, because we have right now ending in Sya. So it's going to end in short So Ato Dirgho Yain, I think it's going to be, let's see, 7-3, what was it? Ato Dirgho Yain, 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 Ato Dirgho Yain. Here it is, Ato Dirgho Yain. 73101 comes here, and is another Sarvadhatuke. So also one which I pointed out to you, people say that sometimes your tendency to say these 4 lakaras are Sarvadhatuka lakaras, other 6 are Adhatuka lakaras. But that's not a good thing to say. Because in this form, when you say apartishyam, for example, or apartishyava, that was or must ending is still going to have the Sarvadhatuka sanya. Because ting shit Sarvadhatukam. Only the Sya Pratyaya we'll have the ardhadhatuka sanya because ardhadhatukam shesha. So you see, it is not really appropriate to say that the entire lakara is going to be, ardhadhatuka lakara. That is the bad terminology. You talk about specific pratyaya. If you actually look at it like that, every lakara is ardhadhatuka pratyaya, even lat, because things is ardhadhatukam shesha. Only when the tiptas ji come in there, they become as a default tingshit sarvadhatukam. Only in two lakaras, what happens is that because of the lingashishi and litcha, these two sutras, even the tiptas ji itself becomes a ardhadhatuka pratyaya. Only in those two lakaras. The remaining all lakaras, like right now in the rung, that those endings, the tip, tashji, those pratyas are still going to be sarvadhatuka pratyas. Why I mention is because we cannot, this sutram ato dirgho yahi can only be applied when this pratyaya is a sarvadhatuka pratyaya. So otherwise, you cannot be applied. You have to have yayadi. So yay means what? We got ha, ya, va, rat, sunya, mangananam, javain. So that up to that point. So the vakara is in there because ha, ya, va, rat, and the nasals are in there. So the makara and vakara are both in the yay pratyaya. So, and we have adantangam, we're going to have an angam ending in short ha because of the pratyaya sya. So we're going to have a dirgha of that, it's going to become syava, syama. So we have to use 3499 to remove the ending sakara, nityam nitaha, and ato dirgho yai to make the dirgha of that angam, make it syava, syama. So let's do, just put it in, and that completes that whole thing. So we'll put this in the document. So this one will be common. This one will be common. So let me put these numbers. Okay. So apatishyava, same thing in syama, same thing. Apatishyava, apatishyama, same thing. Let me see. Syava, atva, and apatishyama. You're going to use the nityam nitaha, ato dirgho yai, nityam nitaha, ato dirgho yai. Keep on repeating the sutras as many times as you can, So they will really stick in your head. It will give you the enthusiasm to learn more sutras also. Even if you know a few, if you know them really well, that actually counts the same as knowing more sutras not that well. Even if you know few sutras really well, that is a very good foundation to learn more sutras. So sometimes it's better to know few very well, and you can easily grab another one. It's very easy to grab the next one if you know some really well. And if you keep on repeating them, then you will get them, and there will be also 70. So ato dir, I'm sorry. Nityam nitaha ato dirgho yai. Okay, so that is what we got here. So this ato dirgho yai was the same. Again, these are the same rules that we used in the ato dirgho yai was used in the lut lakara, because gamishyavaha, gamishyamaha, patishyavaha, patishyamaha. So as I mentioned to you, this is just a combination of the rules that you used, either in the lit or in the lung. For example, in this case, the 3499 nityam nitaha was used in the lung lakara. This one was used in the rit lakara, ato dirgho yai. So this is how these two are both used in the lung lakara. Same thing here. So okay, so that finishes this form. Now let's go to the Atmanipadam. Let's see. We'll keep. Let's take a dhatu like lab. Dhatu lab. The lab is a anit dhatu. So there'll be no iragamaha. Only thing you're going to get the sutram kharicha. The kharicha be lab is becoming lap, like lapsyate. Lapsyate means he, she, it obtains. Lapsyate. So let's keep the angam as a lapsya as common work, with the understanding that the kharicha is the very last. It's like 3, I think 8455 is kharicha. So technically we should wait to make the bha into pa by kharicha at the very end. That should be the last step. But I'm assuming that you know that, so we can go ahead and make it a lapsya as common work. because it's the same kind of step. You should technically start with lab plus lung, halantyam, upadesha jananasika it, lasya, tiptaji. Lab is after dhatu, you have to bring ta, atam, ja, and so on. You brought the ta, shatasi lulatoho, bring the sya. Check in the bhanteshu list. Lab is in there. It's anit dhatu. Then lung 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 shudataha. In the adagamaha, lab sya ta. Finally kharicha lap ta. We're going to skip some steps. We just did that, and we're going to just keep this one. In fact, in the first form, there's no special rule because the pratyaya itself is ta. Nothing else is going to apply in that. So let's keep it. Let's put this one. Lap sya. I'm sorry. Lap sya ta. Lap sya ta. Lap sya ta. Pratyaya was ta itself because ta atam ja. Ta atam ja. Ta atam ja. Okay, so that's the first one. Ta atam ja. Now the next one is what in the dvivachanam. If you look at dvivachanam, lapsya atam. Lapsya atam. Now comes the rule ato gnitaha. Ato gnitaha. This is also confusing because here the gnitaha is not talking about the lakaraha. He's talking about the pratyaya being gnit. Because sarvadhatukam apit. Sarvadhatukam apit. We get the pratyaya atam, which you're going to bring in now. If let's put it on the document maybe. Put the pratyaya atam. So when you keep lapsya atam, that atam pratyaya is of course because things is sarvadhatukam. It is sarvadhatuka pratyaya does not have pers and it. So because of the sarvadhatukam apit 1 to 4, it becomes nitvat. Pratyaya becomes nitvat. So lapsya atam. I'm sorry. Lapsya atam. Because this is the same rule that we applied in the lit lakara. Lapsyate, lapsyete, lapsyante, right? So this again is the same thing. This is just a combination of using the rules for the lit and for the lung. Same thing. So here we have to use ato gnitaha. This is akaraha becomes iya. If it's a gnit pratyaya, which we just saw by 1 to 4, as long as this angam ends in short a. So this is kind of difficult rule to remember, but let's go and see there what was happening. I think it's in 7-2 around 80-ish. Ato 81, ato gnitaha. So it says the ataha. So we have adantam angam. If we have an adantam angam and followed by the pratyaya which is beginning with a, so ataha, and should be nit pratyaya. In that case, in place of the a, put the iya. That iya also is embedded in the sandhi. That prior sutram has a nasty sandhi. The 7 to 80 has a very arsha sandhis in there, 7 to 80. Ato ye yaha. Actually, it's a sandhi between ataha, yas, and iyaha. So it is a very tough sandhi in there. So it becomes ato ye yaha. So that a becomes iya. In fact, let's go to the Ashtadhyayi and see what he has to say in the vritti, what the vrittikara has to say. What is the vritti for this sutram? Let's find that out. See 7 to 81. Ato gnitaha. Ato gnitaha. Ato gnitaha. Let's see what other conditions are there. Always make sure whatever conditions are there are satisfied in your case. Always make sure that before you apply anything, it's a very good habit. Very good habit. Of course, in sutra like, akasam and dirgha and all that, you know the conditions, eco and achieve, but some of them are more tricky. So, akarasya nid avayavasya, it should be a part of the nit pratyaya, which we got in this case because of the fact that it was sarvadhatukam apitta. Akara, oh, this is a typo here, okay, this is typo. Should be akaranta adangat uttarasya sarvadhatukasya, or should be sarvadhatukam, because things is sarvadhatukam. Iya, iti ayam adesha bhavati. See, some books have iya, some books have iya. It will not make a difference. Why will not make a difference? It's only coming after adanta mangam. So finally, you're going to do the adgunaha. So because I said the prior sutram has a sandhi in it, so you can break the sandhi as iya or iya. It will not make a difference because the fact that this rule only applies from the akaranta dangat. So whether you have a plus e or you have a plus e to be the same form because of ad gunaha. So one more time, akarasya, these vrittis are very nice to repeat also. Nice to repeat. If you can memorize, at least keep on, make it a habit. What is sutram you apply? You read the vritti and try to understand it if you can, and then apply sutram. So of course in the class you cannot do it for all of them, but whatever you can at home, you should make it a habit. So akarasya nidavajavasya, but it should be in place of an akara, belongs to a mixed pratyaya. Nid avajavasya. Avajava means a part of that. Akaranta danga, there is a typo here. Akaranta danga uttarasya. Sarvadhatukasya. Iya ityayam adesha bhavati. Pachete, pachete. Okay, so let's check. Do we have all those conditions here? We do have all those conditions because the fact that pratyaya atam is a pratyaya with sarvadhatuka pratyaya because things is sarvadhatukam. It is a nit pratyaya because of sarvadhatukam apit. And it is of course beginning with a long a. And here we have an adantam angam, we do have lapsya. Everything is satisfied. So this is going to become iya or iya. Either way is the same thing. So now let's put that is the next step. And it is the same form, same rule that you use in the lat lakara also. Labhat, labhate, labhete, labhante. The same thing happened there. So when you got the shab pratyaya also, you have to use the same rule. So nothing new here also. So let's see lap, sya, and then make it iya or iya, doesn't matter, iya plus tam. Only the a became iya. A became iya. So tam. So that's what we have. So what did we use to get this step? We use the sarvadhatukam apit. Sarvadhatukam apit. The moment you have pratyaya which is sarvadhatukam pratyaya, always check, does it have pers and it or not? That's the first question you should ask. When you get a pratyaya which is sarvadhatuka pratyaya, you put it into two baskets. Either it has pers and it, which we call in English the strong forms. Doesn't have pers in it, it becomes so-called weak form because of the 1, 2, 4 sarvadhatukam apit nitvat. So we applied that nitvat, and then we applied that 7 to 81 ato nitaha. Again, here nitaha means that it should be nid avajavasya. It should be a part of nit pratyaya. It is not talking about the na of the lakara as na. We are not in the lasyadhikara. Lasyadhikara in 3.4. We are in angasyadhikara right now. Anga implies pratyaya also. Once you have angam, following the angam is pratyaya. It's a relative concept. The relationship between anga and pratyaya is relative. So don't confuse this with the nityam nitaha and all that. This na is a pratyaya, nit pratyaya. That's what confusing part a little bit. Okay, now we can finish it off. We can do the lopo, vyor, vali, and ad gunaha. Because if we have a vakara or yakara followed by a val letter, that vakara or yakara drops. Lopo, vyor, vali. Okay, and then ad gunaha, of course, you all know. So between o and e, you get the guna pura pura eka adesha of the ekara adeng gunaha. So completing the steps, we get a lapsyetam. We get a lapsye. I'm sorry, lapsyetam. A lapsyetam. Okay. Now that what did we use? We use the lopo vyor vali. I think it's 6166. I'll double check that. Lopo vyor vali. And we also use the ad gunaha. Ad gunaha, ad gunaha, ad gunaha, 6187, ad gunaha. So let's see the numbers. Let's make sure we got the right numbers. Okay, yes, Vasu has a question. May I have the wrong number? Maybe the 6166. Yes, Vasu?
No, I have a question.
Yeah.
Alepsia plus etam. It is a
1 second, let me just let's check this number, Vasu. 6166, I think it is 6160. Yeah, it's correct. Look, I'm sorry, go ahead. What's the question?
The question is you have given alepsia plus etam. It's a
Iya. The A became iya.
Iya, not E, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to give the same form. You just say iya or iya. It doesn't matter because between this o.
No, I'm talking about the samyuktaksharam. Iya, half ya and tha,
Yes.
And then I am confused as to how that became alapsyetam.
So the yakara dropped by lopa yorvali 6166. The yakara went away, lopaha. The
Which yakara went away?
The yakara, there's only one yakara. The yakara
Okay.
E, I'm sorry, the yakara after the E, that yakara before the tam,
Yeah.
that went away because of the lopa yorvali 6166.
Okay.
And then we did ad gunaha between the and the E.
Oh, thank you.
So that's, yeah, I'm sorry. Maybe I should go step by step. Yes, so the yakara went over lopo yorvali, and then between the and the E we did ad gunaha. So this yakara went by lopo yorvali. Okay. Okay. So that's, we got alapsyetam. So we're getting there. Alapsyetam. Next one. In fact, these two always go together, by the way. Lapsyetam and lapsyetam. Same steps, because you have atam. There you have atam, because they will always go together. You're going to have the same rules, because you're going to have the atam is pratyaya with sarvadhatika pratyaya, it is apit pratyaya, nitvat. So the same thing, ato nitaha, then lopo yorvali, ad gunaha. The same steps that you use in lat lakara, these are the same steps. Labhetam, labhe. I mean, as far as using, of course, in the lat lakara you have to use the tita apmane padanam tere. That won't apply here. But the ato nitaha, lopo yorvali, and the ad gunaha is the same step that you're using here that we use in the lat lakara also. So in fact, you use the same steps also in the lut lakara. Because in either case, whether you have angam ending in sya or in shap, it's adantam angam. So that ato nitaha, lopo yorvali, and ad gunaha will be samanya karyam. Samanya karyani. Okay, but so that syetam we can always finish off the same way. Now, how about the lapsyanta? So we got lapsya, and then we have the pratyaya jontaha. Become lapsya anta. Then atogune. Because you have apadanta karaha followed by a letter which is gunasanya. Pura parayoho ekadeshaha is the pararupam, and become lapsyanta. The same step, similar step that we had before in the parasmi padam. So we're going to just put it in a document as alapsyanta. Alapsyanta. This is good practice. A little bit boring for some of you, but I hope it is practice for the others. Lapsyan, and then we had the anta by joantaha, and then we made it by the atogune as alapsyanta by 6197. Of course, in all of these places, we are not using the tita atmane padanam tere, because this lakar doesn't have ters in it. Does not have ters in it. In fact, of course, last time in a hurry at the end, I made that mistake, which I'll correct now. Which anyway Karthik corrected last time also, but we'll correct it again. And when we come to the Uttam Purusha Ekvachanam, that was the mistake that I made, but we'll correct that. So we got alapsyanta. Now alapsyathaha, nothing special. The pratyaya is thas. We do not use thasas se. Thasas se is not used because that also requires a tit lakaraha. Those two sutrams come after tiptajjid in 3, 4, 79, 78, 79, 80. Titaha atmane padanam tere and thasasse. So it's the 3, 4, 79, 3, 4, 80. We are not using here. It's because of the fact this lakar is lung, it does not have ters in it. So they will not come. Because right after tiptajji in the lasyadikaraha, we have those two rules. So if you have atmane padam, and if you have lakara with ters in it, immediately apply those two rules. The 3, 4, 79, 80, there should be a habit for you. The moment you have lakara with ters in it, in the Atmanipadam, immediately apply 3, 4, 79, 3, 4, 80. But right now we don't have that. So thas stays as thas. There's no adesha of say. And then of course, as usual, sasajushoruho, karavasana visajani. I think that we won't repeat anymore. Become alapsyathaha. Alapsyathaha. Alapsyatham is just the same steps as the etam. The atam and atam same steps. Now alapsyadhvam. Okay. The pratyaya is dhvam itself. So here also we don't have to really do anything because, lapsya dhvam, no special work. Again, the same thing. We do not do the titapne padanam tere. So we don't have to do that. Lapsya dhvam, lapsya dhvam. Now the next place what we have, lapsya, and we have the pratyaya it. Of course, halantyam, the t is in it, and lapsya e. Now this place you only do adgunaha. You cannot do the titasmi padanam tere and then do the ato gune. Those steps are only for the lakara with ters and it. If you doing lat lakara, for example, when you say aham labhe, when you do lab, labha, lab plus shap plus e, in that case you should not do adgunaha. If the lakara is ters in it, you should not do adgunaha. You should do it because nitya karyam is the tita atmane padanam tere and then do ato gune. But in this case, as we corrected last time, which Karthik corrected, was that you have to only do adgunaha. So in the Uttamapurusha Ekavachanam, is one simple step only we have to do, which we have to do the take the same angam we can take down and make it. Let's see. Let me try that. Okay, lapsya, and then you have it halantyam. The e is, the t is in it, and just then do adgunaha and make it lapsye, lapsye, and that was just by the 6187 adgunaha. Okay, and then the rest of it I think same as before, which we had the lapsyavahi, lapsyamahi, the pratyas are vahing, vahi, mahing, and of course in case of mahing you do halantyam, and ato dirgho yayi, again the va and ma are part of the yam pratyahara. They are pratyaya sarvadhataka pratyahas because only the sya pratyas are ardhataka pratyahas. The vahi and mahi, they are still sarvadhataka pratyahas. So ato dirgho yayi cannot be applied unless those pratyahas are beginning with a yayi and they are sarvadhataka sanya they have, which they do have. The angam ends in short because the pratyaya sya is there, ending in short so ataha is satisfied, it becomes dirgaha. Yayadav sarvadhatuke, everything is satisfied. So syavahi, syamahi. Syavahi, syamahi, similar steps. So 73101, I just put in maybe in the document. That completes everything now. So we didn't use any single new rule which is specific for Rung Lakara. Not a single new rule was used. That's why it was very straightforward. Lapsya vahi and lapsyamahi. I'm sorry. Lapsyamahi is ato dirgho jayi, ato dirgho jayi, ato dirgho jayi, ato dirgho jayi, ato dirgho jayi. So C411. Okay, let's look at the. No, I'm sorry. The 73101. Okay, this is Angakaryam. So these go. Let's look at the meaning. I hope that was good. You can practice these rules. Very simple. We didn't have any new rules today, but just practice. Particularly those of you who are listening to new, please practice. This should be now quite straightforward for you. Okay, how about the meaning which is given in the book now? So we did this table was done. The conditional is used to express a condition which is not or has not been realized. What Panini says is what he calls the atipatti, means the abhava, asiddhi. Means an action is not going, that event is not going to, those sequence of events is not going to take place. He says asiddhir abhavo va atipatti. So ling nimitte rung kriyatipattau. So let's look at these two rules. This is what is called the lakarartha prakaranam. Lakarartha prakaranam means in the Ashtadhyayi, Panini tells us which lakara is to be used in what meanings and what conditions, in what usage, So how the lakara is to be used. In there, Panini has these two rules, ling nimitte. So when you have a situation when the ling can be used, in those situations, lung also can be used, but but there has to be an additional stipulation to be satisfied, which is kriyati pattau. When we know that event has atipatti, atipat means that asiddhi. It's not taking place, Kriyatipatta. And there, they actually in the 33139, says Bhavishyati. In the Bhavishyati, Anuvritti is coming down here. So that is in the future. If you know that it's not going to happen in the future, by Pramanantarena, by some other Pramanam, if you know it's not going to happen, then only Lrung can be used. Otherwise, you cannot use. From that, and then Bhutecha. The same thing, same statement can be used in the Bhutarthi also. Of course, in that case, the Vakta already knows, Yatipatti, that the event has not happened, Event has not happened. Let's say simple sentence. If I had gone to the temple, I would have seen the Murti. Or in the future also, if I were to go to the temple, I will see the Murti. But I know either I didn't go to the temple and I didn't see the Murti, or I am not going to go to the temple and I will not see the Murti. That I know in my mind. So, yadi mandiram agamishyam, because we just derived that form, right? Like agamishyam, because tasastum pam tam tam tamaha ato gune agamishyam, right? Tarhi murtim. Now what is the form here? Drakshyami, when you say adrakshyam. Adraksham. So yadi mandiram agamishyam tarhi murtim adrakshyam. Drakshyam. Drakshati, right? So adraksham. Adraksham. But I know that mandiram nagatavan athva nagamishyami and murte darshanam na bhavishyati. Imyatam maya. I already know that. These are kind of usages that we have to get. So from that statement, we do not know whether this is going to happen in the past or in the future. In literature, I think Bhimsen Shastriji makes the point that mostly bhutartheva drishyate. Even the Panini says bhavishyati, mostly literature is seen mostly in the past tense only. So mostly people use that I did not go to the temple. I didn't see the Murti. It already has happened already, and I know that already. Then I can of course say with confidence that I can use this one, So it already be used. So you'll see in literature mainly in the past tense. Now this ling nimitte, ling nimitta are actually many. In many uses ling can be used, So you can see ling coming over here, and a lot of places it's coming. But the one which fits in our thing is this one, the hetu mato ling. If then, If then, if there is a hetu, then there'll be hetu mat karyam will be there. There is a karanam and there is a karyam. Otherwise, this usage won't fit properly, So even though ling nimitte Panini says as a practical matter, that's 33156 hetu mato ling. In that ling usage only, really, you see the use of the rung. If X would have happened, Y would have happened. But the speaker knows either both are not going to happen, that is 33139, or they have not happened, the 33140. Those are the usages. I think here we have some examples right here. Let's see what examples are given in this. So the 33139, 33140 is the ling nimitte, lung kriyatipattav, and then the next sutram is bhutecha. Bhutecha, that's what's happening. And the ling nimitte, you connect to this one down to 33156, hetu mato ling. That's the ling usage which this thing fits. Otherwise, it doesn't fit properly the usage. And as I said to you before, this is a very rare lakara which is used. Let's see what examples that I have given. I'll give you some more examples also that which are given. Let me just get this page up, and then we can go to the next. Okay, I'm sorry. It's too much. Give me 1 second. All right. Okay, let's see what example. Okay. I'll come back to this one. I guess we'll finish this top problem. Let's look at the example. He's going to passive now. He's not doing. Okay, let me give you some examples from here. Let's see if we can get some good examples. It says that, let's try this one. This is, I think, the Kashika example. Dakshinena ched ayasyat. So ayasyat. Dhatu is ya. Ya is to go. second gana dhatu. So if he, she, it were to go by the southern path, na shakatam paryabhavishyat, paryabhavishyat. Paryabhu is to be, to turn upside down. So if he had gone by the southern path, then the cart would not have been turned upside down. But the speaker knows either he will not go by the southern path and the cart will turn upside down, or bhutecha, he knows he did not go by the southern path and the cart turned upside down. Next one, abhokshata bhavan ghritena yadi mat samipam agamishyat. So yadi mat samipam agamishyat. If you had come to me, come close to me, if you had come to me, abhokshata bhavan ghritena, you would have had a nice meal with ghee if you had come to me. But of course the speaker knows you're not going to come to me, or you didn't come to me, and ghritena na bhuktavan. Atva, you will not also eat in the future. So that is the usage. So abhokshata bhavan ghritena yadi mat samipam agamishyat. This I'm reading from the Bhaimi Vyakya. Some examples is given here. And in his book, Antoine Book given many examples. Next one, which is of course the tvanched yatnam akarishyaha. If you had put in some effort, yatnam akarishyaha, tada, then pariksham udatarishyaha, udatarishyaha. If you had put in some effort, you would have passed the exam. But now the speaker knows he's not going to put in the effort, he's going to fail the exam, either in the future or in the past. Last one he gives is that suvrishtish ched abhavishyat. There had been good rainfall. So ched and yadi is the same. Chet and yadi means if. So suvrishtihi ched abhavishyat. If there had been good rainfall, tadastu bhiksham abhavishyat. There would be plentiful. There would be food in plenty. It would have been easy to find food, easy to eat. So it would have been. But we know the rain is not going to come, or it didn't come, and there was no food. So those are usages that we are giving. Let's see what Antoine is saying now on this page. Insertion of E follows exactly the same rules as in the simple future, because the pratyaya is the same sya. When we saw the rules for the idagamaha, for example, rudhanosye, when we saw that, right? Let's take a couple of quick examples that we saw. They did not mention anything specific about the rit lakara. They only talked about the pratyaya sya being there. They did not say anything about rit being there, only sya being there. And the sya is common between the rit and the rung because of shatasi ru lutoho. So ru, it is samanya sanya for the rit and the rung. So let's take a couple of rules. For example, the one that we used was the rudhanosye. So dhatu ending in ru, the dhatu han. They are anit dhatus, but they will take the idagamaha, the pratyaya sya follows. It didn't say anything about rit lakara, only said sya. So of course this rule will apply samanyena, rit vishaye, lung vishaye api. It will be the same rule. Let's take another one, which was the gamerit parasnipadesho. The game it parasnipad, like gamishyami. Dhatu gam is anit dhatu. Like, we just give the example, right? Yadi mandiram agamishyam. So this only says sakara, the anuvrutti of say is coming down when it is a sakaradi pratyaya following, which is common. So the pratyaya sya. So none of these rules that we use in idagama section, in short, required the condition of lit specifically being there. It depends on pratyaya sya, because sakaradi. So all those rules will apply, commonly apply now to this in the rung prakriya also. Nothing, no change. Obviously, all the same rules apply here also. So this one I think we won't do in detail. We just went through all the steps already. So this one that he's using is the rudhanosye. Rudhanosye. Only thing is which we just saw over here is the dhatu ending in short ru, like dhatu kru. It's anut dhatu. Anut dhatu, because in the udrudantai he list it is not there. So kru is anut dhatu. I'm sorry, not this one. The 7-2 rudhanosye is 7-2-70. Sorry. 7-2-70. Rudhanosye. 7-2-70. Not 70-63, 7-2-70. Look at the wrong sutra. 7-2-70 is what we want here, because sye. Sya following. Okay. So that one, dhatu kru is anit dhatu, but because of rudanta dhatu it is. So pratyasya is following. You're going to take an idagamaha. So let's just put that one step. The rest of the steps are going to be the same, what we just did. I just derive one form only we will do. So akarishyat, dukkan karane, right? Which is made fun of by Shankaracharya because of it's the most headache dhatu in the whole language. A lot of rules, a lot of bhavaha vishesha niyamaha santi. Tasmat parihasa vishayaha. It is a subject a lot of jokes. Anyway, so kru, we'll just, you know the order by now, we already did it before, so we can just skip some steps and just directly put the is, ya, and the tip pratyaya, of course, itascha removed, and I'm sorry, halantyam, itascha, and then we will do the sarvadhatuka ardhatuka yoho, sarvadhatuka ardhatuka yoho gunaha. That kru will take gunaha, and uran raparaha. Uran raparaha, uran raparaha, uran raparaha. So become a, kar. So what did we use over here? We used the sarvadhatuka ardhatuka yoho 7384 and uran raparaha, uran raparaha, uran raparaha, uran raparaha, uran raparaha. Uran raparaha will come in the first adhyaya. Uran raparaha. Let's see this. Karthik, you know uran raparaha number, what will it be?
No, I don't know the number.
Take a guess. Take a guess. Even I don't know. I'm going to take a guess. Where would it be? I might see. I know Alontasya is 1152, right?
Mm-hmm.
It will be 1150-ish, 51 maybe, 50 maybe around there. Let's see. What is your guess? Uran Raparaha. Uran. We have an Ashtadhyayi game going, you know. So Uran. In fact, I had this idea in mind one time. We should have Ashtadhyayi. Like people play all this computer game. We should have an Ashtadhyayi game. You can have various levels, you know. Like in the very beginning level, you can only choose only adhyaya numbers. Then you can choose the pada numbers. Then you can go down to the last 10, last 5. Make it really interesting. You can adjust the level, you know, in the game. Anyway, Uran Raparaha, yeah, 1151. That was not bad. So 1150 Uran Raparaha. Always try to guess from your knowledge of Ashtadhyayi, you know, where you might be in the territory. Anyway, so Sarvadhatu Ardhaka Yoho Uran Raparaha. You need to uhu. You do an adesha in place of that z. It has to be raparaha. To bring that refa with it. So 1151 uran raparaha. Uran raparaha. So a, ka. Then of course you have finally you're going to do the adesha pratyayoho. Murdhani shakara adesha. Yatha purvam. Just as before. Again, that technically is a tripadi karyam. So that should be done later on. Yatha kramam. In the proper order, and then we're going to get the itascha. Lakara has no as an it. That ending is going to drop. We already used that today a few times. So akarishyat. Let's see, akarishyat. This is the one that is the form akarishyat. In the Panini way, you do this one first, then go to others. Who wants to finish this for me now? Who wants to do this and mention all the sutras? Let's see who can. Tangaviliji can. Let's see. Tangaviliji, are you there? Can you try this one? No, maybe it's not there. Okay. Let me see. Anybody besides Karthik? Who wants to do it? Hindu can do this one. Yeah. Hindu, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to try this? Just kiss the sutram from the Akarishyatam.
Right. So we have the akarishya from before.
That's samanya karya. We'll keep that as a common word. Yeah, and then
tastastamipam tam tam tamaha.
Tastastamipam tam tam tamaha. So yatha sankhya, the tas and mip become tam, tam, ta and And what is the requirement for that?
Nitaha.
Nita. So that lakara should have no as an it. And so that's what happens. Akarishya tam, and of course anekash is sarvasya. The entire tas is gone, becomes tam. Oh, next one, akarishyan. What is that?
After the samanya karya, it's jontaha.
So jontaha.
Jontaha.
Itascha. So we got now akarishyan.
Then samyogantasya lopaha.
Sanyogantasya lopaha akarishyan. Okay. Akarishyaha. What is there?
Basically just sasajashoruho. Karavasanayo. Itascha and sas. Yeah.
Sasujishatu Karavasanayo Vitajaniyaha. Akarisyatam
Tastamipam tam tam.
Tam tam tamaha. The thus becomes tam.
Tam.
Tastamipam tam tam tamaha. So becomes tam. Next same thing. Next place akarishyata. Tastamipam tam tam tamaha.
So it's a ta.
Okay. Now akarishyam. What's happening there?
Again, tastamipam tam tam tamaha.
And then? And then?
Yeah.
Akarishya plus we have. Akarishya plus
Oh, atogune.
Atogune, between the pura parayo, apadanta akaraha. We have the gunasanya varna is there, then the pararupam ekadesha, akarishyam. Okay. Akarishyava. What's happening there? Pratyaya is was.
Was. So nityam nitaha.
Nityam nitaha. Uttam purusha sakarasya lopaha. So between va and then
Ato dirko yayi.
Ato dirko yayi. Adantamangam we have a yayadi savadhatuka pratyaya. Because the pratyaya was is things is aratakam, and the angam takes dirgha, the ante dirgha adesha akarishyava akarishyama. Okay, let's do the other one. Alapsyata. We just did that, didn't we? Did we just do that? So,
right.
Okay, we just did that. I think. Okay, we just did this one.
Right.
Okay, let's go through it again. Alapsyata, nothing special. Pratyaya is ta. Alapsya atam. What's happening here?
Atognitaha.
Atognitaha. The a becomes iya. What are the conditions for that?
Sarvadhatuke.
Sarvadhatuka pratyaya. Shvingit pratyaya.
Nitya pratyaya.
Because of the sarvadhatukam pit. And then you should have adantamangam for that also. Right. So the
ataha anuvriti. Right.
Anuvriti of ataha is coming now. So lapsya is a adantamangam. And then you have the pratyaya atam, which is, as Indu said, is savasaka pratyaya. It is a nyat pratyaya in the akara pratyaya. So that akara becomes iya. And then next step?
Adgunaha.
Adgunaha. And one more? Yakar lopaha.
Oh, lopo vyorvali.
Lopo vyorvali. Lopo vyorvali. That is just a varna niyama. Is any if you have the vakara or yakara vyor vali or lopo vyorvali. So it becomes that 6166 lopo vyorvali. Very important rule. You're going to use it in many contexts. You also should know what is the domain of these rules that you're using. What is the domain? Because some are only for nit lakaras, some only for nit pratyahas, some are only for sarvadhatuke, some are for this, some are for that. His lopo viewer, well, he doesn't say anything of that. He doesn't care. His only job is to see that if in the entire language, if you have a vakara or a yakara, viewer, and followed by the valadi pratyaya. Val letter, I'm sorry. Well, not pratyaya. This is not angasya adhikara. Only followed by one letter. Then the vakarasya athva yakarasya lopa bhavati. Vali parataha. Okay, so that's good. So we got the alapsyetam. Then what is the next one? Alapsyanta. What is the happening there?
So jontaha.
Jontaha.
Jontaha. Atogune.
Atogune. Alapsyanta. Then alapsyathaha, nothing special. Jishoruhu. Then alapsyetam, same steps as alapsyetam. Alapsyadvam, also nothing. Just nothing special at all. Alapsye, what's there?
Adgunaha.
Adguna. So alapsyavahi, alapsyamahi. What's there?
Ato dirgoye.
Ato dirgoye. Because again the vahi and mahi are being yaji pratyaya, sarvadhatuka pratyaya. You get the adantam angasya dirgha. Okay, thank you, dirgha. So we got all of that. Now let's finish this next paragraph, then we can go to the conditional passive. So he's talking about lung lakara in karmani or bhave, karmani, is identical with the atmanepadam. While it's again the same rule which I mentioned to you many, many times, is the bhava karmanoho. Never forget this rule. Is if you think something is passive, it has to be take only atmanepada pratyayas only. Because atmanepadam anuvritti is coming from 1.3.12. Panini says anudattagnita atmanepadam and then bhava karmanoho. If you're using in these two senses, bhava, which is impersonal passive, in this, or you use the karma in the passive, then you have to use Atmanipadam. Atmanipadam. So that is why he's talking about the Atmanipadam endings only have to be used, and there is no special operation in general happening over there, because, just to draw attention, one more thing is that for example, when you take the dhatu bhu, we get active form is bhavati, passive form is anubhuyate. Now, how come we didn't get a special form over here? Because the sutram sarvadhatuke yak is sarvadhatuke yak. Sarvadhatuke yak. What I'm talking about is 3167. Sarvadhatuke yak. So that passive marker yak that only comes when the pratyaya following is a sarvadhatuka pratyaya. Sarvadhatuke yak. We're going to get the pratyaya sya coming over here. The sya. So we're not going to have anything going on between the sarvadhatuke yak will not have any chance over here. Sarvadhatuke yak. Pratyaya is no longer sarvadhatuke yak. Okay, so that is the reason why there's no way to distinguish as a general rule between the Atmanipada form and the passive form. Of course, with Parasyapadam, it cannot be passive. We just went through that. If it's an Atmanipadam, then for example, when you just saw the form alapsya ta, now is that active or passive? You don't know. It could be active. Maybe she, it would have got alapsya ta, or he, she, it would have been found. You don't know, active or passive. But there is one thing that we saw, of course, in the last 2-3 classes, is there is an optional rule, 6162, which will make a special passive form in the case of these 4 pratyayas, of which I think we have learned, I think 2 so far, which is the 6 in the adhikar of ardha dhatuke. We start setting from 6446 in the adhikar of 6446 ardha dhatuke. And this rule is sya, sich, siyut, tasishu. In these 4, ratna we have the pratyaya sya, bhava karmanoho in the passive, upadeshe ajjana graha drisham, vachinvad, itcha. The chinvad bhavaha for that sya pratyaya, in this case sya, and only for these dhatus, ajanta dhatus, dhatu han, graha drish. The last time in the table, I think you all know, but I just want to mention again, in this table on top, which we are going through in the last class, for this dhatu pat and dhatu vah. Of course, in case of pat, the passive is not possible at all because it doesn't make any sense. It's a akarmaka dhatu. But dhatu vah is not in the list of 6462. I think I may not have mentioned that last class, but the 6462 requires the, of course, here, sich, siyu, tas, but also requires either ajanta dhatu or the dhatus, only these 3, only han, graha, drisham. So last class, because this column is blank over here, this column is blank because there is no optional form, because this is the dhatu ending in hakara. It's not ajanta dhatu. It's neither dhatu, the han, graha, drish. It's none of those. So you could not have these columns over here. Anyway, so that's what he's talking about again in this 141 point, subject to the same optional transformations as the future. And why future passive? Because same pratyaya sya again. And let's take the example. Yadi, let's see, who wants to do this one example for me? Who wants to do this? Anuji, you there? Anuji? May not be there. Okay, let's see. I think Vasu can do this. Vasu can do this. Vasu, you ready?
I'll.
Okay, I'll do the padacheda everything for you. Yadi pita agamishyat sarve atokshan. Yadi pita agamishyat sarve atokshan. Okay, so he said, were my father to come, all of you would be pleased. Is this a passive form or active form? So what do you think?
It's a passive form.
Well, if you want to have passive, you have to have Atmanipada endings. Do we have that? Look at
No.
it. Look at it up here. This is Parasnipadam. This is Atmanipadam. Look at the endings. Agamishyat is like akarishyat, right?
It's a active form.
Active form. Yeah. Of course, dhatu is gam, pratyasya, itascha. That has gone.
My mistake was I was looking at
meaning.
The meaning.
Yes.
And I looked at.
Go ahead.
Would be pleased.
Yeah, it sounds like a passive. Yeah, but the dhatu tush is to be pleased, you know. So tushyati. Tushyati itself means, this is an interesting thing, by the way. You'll take a dhatu nash. Now, nashyati, what does it mean? Does it mean he's destroyed himself? Or does he mean that he destroys somebody else? What do you think? Saha, let's say nashyati.
Nashyati should be is destroyed. That's right.
Yeah, he destroyed himself.
Yeah.
It should be nashayati.
Yeah.
In nashayati, he destroys somebody else.
Yeah.
So tushyati means he is himself pleased. Toshayati means he pleases somebody else. So anyway, the first thing, look at the ending. Parasnipadam ending, Parasnipadam ending. We don't have any of the, the Vishesha Chinnani is not there, which we saw in 6462. The Chinvad Bhavaha. Chinvad Bhavaha. Why is this not Chinvad Bhavaha, you think, Vasu? Chinvad Bhavaha means that gum should have become, first of all, Chinvad Bhava applies only if it's Ajanta Dhatu. Only the Dhatu that Han, Graha and Drush. We have Dhatu Gam and Dhatu Tush. They are neither Ajantas nor are they part of that list of the Han, Graha, Drush. So that term itself, it is gone, it's out. Okay. Second thing, when Chinvad Bhavaha comes, the Idagama comes Nityam. In the form Atokshan, there is no Idagama here. This could not be Chinvad Bhava at all. There is no chance. Here we do have this Idagama, but we should have had the Atopadhayaha. So on many counts, this is not passive. So the ending is Parasnipadam. That itself you're out right there. So that is the biggest indicator. It cannot be, it will not be passive. Okay, let's try to get the meaning now. Yadi pita agamishyat. So it could have been agamishyat also, by the way. You cannot know. See, let's look at what meaning he made. Were my father to come. So it is a plus agamishyat. A plus, he has done the akasam and dirgha. So between it is pita, a, agamishyat. Between the pita, that akara of the ta, and the a, and the adagamaha, all three, we do the akasam and dirgha. So when you see that sandhi, we don't know if my father were to go, my father were to come. We will be samana rupam. Sandhya jayate. Anyway, from the meaning he has given, it could have been either one. Pita agamishyat or pita agamishyat. So, okay, so if my father were to come.
This sentence has two verbs, right?
It has two tingantam, yes. It has agamishyat. Generally, when you have this use of rung, you have two verbs. If A were to happen, B would have happened, but both didn't happen. That's rung lakara. If A were to happen, B would have happened, but both did not happen. So there are two happenings, A and B. Okay, now next one is survey. Of course, survey is Prathama Bahuvachanam of Sarva Pradipadikam. This is going to be Sarvanama Shabdaha is Pullinga Rupam. So survey Janaha. Yuyam, no, it cannot be Yuyam, it is the third person. So survey Janaha, you can say Atokshan. You want to take a stab at some rules over here? Cool. Okay, the ending, can you see the ending? No, same ending here.
Yeah.
So we have done the Jyoantaha, Itascha, and finally Sanyogantasya Lopa has happened. Okay, Dhatu is Tush with the Murdhanya Shakara. So we have, now we have two in the Murdhanya Shakaranteshu, Anidhatavaha, Katisanti. How many are Anidhatus in the Murdhanya Shakaranteshu? Suchyam. So we have the Krisha, Tvisha, Tusha. Okay, it's there. So it's Anidhatu. So Tush, Sya, A, tush, sya, and we did anti, itascha, and the, okay, we'll put in the document. Okay, let's put it here. Make it clear for everybody. All right, I'm skipping the steps, going the quick route. We have tush, anit dhatu. So we got pratyaya, sya is here. Then we got anti, and we are going to do the itascha, because that's the nitya. Always the rules in 3.4. Lasya adhikara. Don't have to think. Just apply them fearlessly. All nityakara. So this itascha is going to come, which is 3, 4, 100. And we're going to do sanyogantasya lopaha. Anything else in the Sapa Saptadhyaya you can think of? So we need one rule. We need one more rule that we need.
Yeah,
So
the tush has to take a car, right?
So that's going to come in the Tripadi Karyam. What can we do? What is other Karyam in the Sapa Saptadhyaya that we need over here? Any guesses? Okay, let's pass it on. Let's see who can do it first. Let's see who can do it. Is Tangaji back? Tangaji, you there? No. Maybe Indu can do it. I'm sure she knows how to do it. Indu, want to finish off for us? Ato Gune. And one more. We need 2 rules. I was wrong. We need 2 rules. Okay, we need 2 of them. Ato Gune also we need, correct? And what else do we need? Puganta Lagupatasya cha. We need Puganta Lagupatasya. Yeah, so it will become to. So because that is the upada is lagu, the lagu ukaraha. It's going to take the guna adeshaha. So tosh, and then sya, and then it's going to become, as Indu said, we're going to do the atogune. So we already did the itascha, then we did atogune, and then we did the puganta lagupatasya cha. Now at this point we can now go into the Tripadi. So after all of this, toshyant. Okay. Now what will happen the first thing in the Tripadi, into what we think?
Shadokasi?
Before that? Shadokasi is 8 to 41. Before that? How about Takar Lopaha? What do you think? What number is that?
Oh, Sanyogantasya lopaha.
Sanyogantasya lopaha is 8 to 23 itself.
23.
So we got that one. 8 to 23. And then, 8 to 23. And then we're going to get the Shadokasi. That's the Murdhanya Shakara or Dhakara, followed by the Sakara. Takes a Kakara Adesha. So the Dha or the Murdhanya Sha takes a Ka Adesha. If followed by Sa. Shadokasi, Shadokasi, Shadokasi. Not a very common rule, but not very uncommon either. So this is like these are the rules which are kind of difficult to remember. They're not very common, like eco and stuff like that. But it is nevertheless an important rule. Shadokasi, Shadokasi. So this is going to become into a Ka, and then Sian, and the next one, Shadokasi 8 to 41.
Shato. 8359.
We're going to get the Adesha Pratyaya, right?
Right.
Adesha
Satish,
Pratyaya.
in the previous one, 2 lines above that, you have to put instead of 56, it's 59.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yes. Thank you. Yeah, please pay attention to these typos. 8359, correct, thank you. This one also same rule, 8359, Adesha Pratyayoho. So it becomes to, and then become, all these classes, there are many more people listening to recording than coming to the class. So it's a burden upon all of us who are in the class right now, which is only a small percentage of the potential people listening to recordings. So we have to make sure that these recordings are and the text is as clean as we can. So try to go slow, even if it's boring for some of you. Try to go slow, and because now for the rest of whenever anybody wants to come and listen and derive the form for the Rung Lakara, just come to the recording of this day, June 30th, 2010, and keep on, just look at this and we hope that they'll be able to derive it themselves, But we should not have mistakes and not, do it the proper way to the best as we can, because here there are only maybe 10-15 people in the class. The number of people listening to recordings are much higher number potentially. May not be today, but down the road. So thank you for the typos. So 8359 Adisha Pratyayoho, and then Kasha Sanyoge Ksha Atokshan. Atokshan. So they would all be pleased. Okay, thank you. Now let's finish the last sentence which he has given, which is this one. I'm sorry. Okay, now this one. Yadi murkhena nana yishadvam or nane shadvam. Okay. Now this is potentially a passive form. In fact, this is definitely a passive form. This one. Na ana yishadvam. And then tarhi vyajeshadvam. Okay. Now, okay, let me get Karthik, are you there?
Yes, Satish.
Okay, now what is one more indication this is a passive form? What is the one more indication that this is a passive form?
I think because ni is a parasmepadu dhatu and we have a atmanepada ending.
Okay, one more. Can you tell me one more thing? Of course, you can see the
Chinvad Bhava.
Chinvad Bhava is here. One more thing. This is a Murkhena.
Murkhena.
I think Hindu has that. I think that was the one that that what she was saying. Yes, Hindu.
Yeah, I was going to say Tritiya.
Tritiya, because the Karta is in Tritiya. This Karta has gone Tritiya. So that is an indication that we are not in the actual. This is going to be a passive form. Okay. So now what is the dhatu? Kartik, or dhatu is me. You want to drive this one for us, Kartik? What is the Pratacheda for us first?
Yadi murkhena na anayushyadvam, or it will be na aneshyadvam, then vyajeshyadvam.
Vyajeshyadvam. So dhatu is V plus G in the second case. Is Vyajeshyadvam. Okay. Interesting thing, by the way. The dhatu G is what? Jayati. Right? But this has become Atmanepadi. Vyajeshyadvam. And there was this controversy in our Asmakam Rashtrasya Ghoshana, right? Satyameva Jayate. Satyameva Jayate. Because the Vayakaranam Santosha Nasit. Because they said this is not correct form according to Paninian terms. The dhatu G is a prasnapadi dhatu. It only becomes Atmanepadi when certain upasargas come there, and V is one of them, Vijayate. So they should say, you should make it Satyameva Jayate, or make it Vijayate, I'm sorry, make it Satyameva Vijayate, or make it Satyameva Jayati. But the Upanishad has Satyameva Jayate, Nanratam. So they would not change that. They said, don't take these Asha Prayogas and make this in this look. Anyway, just some fun for you. But that was the thing. But okay. Now, Karthik, where do you find Sutram for us to make Vijayate into a Atmanepadi form?
Vijayate into an Atmanepadi.
So Dhatu G is the Prasnapadi Dhatu.
Prasnapadi Dhatu.
Do we even need that over here?
Yeah.
Let us start. Is this an active or a passive form? Now, interesting thing. Vyajeshyadvam. Of course, the meaning is going to give you the answer anyway. This is an active form. Interesting. This Vyajeshyadvam is an active form. You would have conquered. This is not passive. This could also be passive. This is not passive. So he's given a very tough sentence here. So the Dhatu G is a Prasnapadi Dhatu. And this has become Atmanepadi form of it. You were tempted to say this is going to be a passive form. Yes, Vasu?
Satish, then we cannot really go by what it looks like from the ending.
What? From this ending?
Yeah.
Well, because Upasarga has come, Vasu, that's the problem. Otherwise, it was okay.
So it is an active form, but it looks like a passive form. Right?
No, it's a form which could be active or passive. You don't know. So it could have been active. But this is the problem that we are saying in the beginning itself. That there is an optional, passive form. There's an optional form. It doesn't have to be.
Would it also mean in English you would have been conquered?
Yes, it could have been. You would have been conquered. Like So then what do you do? So then that's, but here what's going to happen here is that there is the rule which we're going to find out now. With the V upasarga, the dhatu G is going to become going to take Atmanepadi endings. So now the VG, even though G is Parasnipadi, VG is Atmanepadi dhatu. Now you don't know. You cannot depend on the Atmanepadi ending because this could be active or passive. So you have to go by the context. You would have been go to the context. Okay, let's see. So Karthik, what would this rule be? You think? What do you think?
Is it 1-3 along with the other Atmanepada rules?
Let's go there, and then we should find something there. I don't know the exact number, by the way, but I know that there was controversy on that. Satyameva Jayate. I know that. So there is a rule there. 1.3. Okay, let's narrow it down. So in the first thing, from 1378 starts Sheshat Karti Parasnipadam. This must be from between 12 and 78 at the most. Even that we can narrow it down because there are some rules in between which makes it Ubhayapadi dhatus. So that also we don't need. Let's see, which is the Krati Vipraya Kriya Phale. So it has to be between the 12 and 72. And I think V Parabhyam J hai. I think this is, what is that? Rough memory. My rough memory.
1318, I think. I saw it somewhere.
No, that's Kriya.
Oh.
Yeah. Near Vishaha.
The next one.
Yeah.
Viparabhyam J.
19.
19.
Yeah, I was right. Viparabhyam J. So just click in my old memory. Viparabhyam J. So that's going to make it when you have V or Para. So in Para Jayate and Vijayate. So these two. So unfortunately he has given this tough sentence here because he is talking about passive, and in the meanwhile he's going to dhatu which changes the pada to become parasnipadi and becomes active form actually. Okay, let's go to this one. So na anayishadvam. What's happening there, Karthik?
It's a Chinvat Bhavaha and we are getting the Vriddhi
Idagama
Vikasa.
nityam vidya. So tat sanniyogena. So in connection with Chinvat Bhava, it is nityam. Okay,
Yes.
let's quickly put in the document so we can finish this one. So we can, let's see what's going on here. Okay, now let us start. Of course, Adagama, Lung Shudataha, Dhatu Ni, and then, I'm sorry, it's a Dirgha Ikara Dhatu. Dhatu Ni, and then we have the Idagama, which is Nityam. So we've got Is here, and that is Chinvad Bhavaha. And this is going to be a passive form, so we're going to have to use the drum ending. So yum. In the meanwhile, so we are using the 6462. This idagama of 6462 is entirely different from the idagama of the 7.2. It has nothing to do with that. So when Chinvat Bhava comes, regardless of dhatu being sate or anit, doesn't matter, it is nityam idagama. So, ni is yadvam. Okay, what's the next step, Karthik?
Achonniti will have the Vriddhi.
Vriddhi, 72115, because the chin with bhava, the chin has no as an it, so ni becomes nai, Vriddhiradich, right? So nai plus isya. Okay, what's the next step?
Echo Yavayavaha.
Echo yavaya. What number is that?
It will be 6178.
78. Very good. Echo yavaya. So you get na yish na yish, and then of course then we can finish off the adeshapattayoho. Na yishadvam. Okay, so we just did echo yavaya. And we did the adeshapattayoho, mudanya shakaradeshaha, and before that we did the achudnyati, which was the vriddhi. Okay, I think are we done here? I think we are done, right? I'm sorry. Anayishadvam. So if you were not led by a fool, if you were not to be led by a fool, yum, because the ending dvam can only be with Yushma Pradipadikam, it's Bahuvachanam, it can only be yum. So yadi yoyam murkhena na anayishadvam. If you were not to be led by a fool, tarhi, understood? Vi jeshyadvam. Vi jeshyadvam. The dhatu G is of course an anit dhatu, udrudantai. It's not in the list of said dhatus. It's ajanta dhatu. There's no chinmad bhava. Why no chinmad bhava here, Karthik?
Because it is.
Is it possible here?
I think it is not possible. It's only passive, right? Chinmad bhava.
Correct. It's only passive. It's only bhava karmano. This is ajanta. This will qualify for the list of dhatu because it's ajanta athva the hana graha drisha. So that is ajanta dhatu we have. The only bhava karmano. So this is just a simple our sarva dhatu karthatuka yoho gunaha. And it is a anit dhatu. So J, G becomes J, Jeshyadvam. Vya and V a Jeshyadvam. So if you were not to be led by a fool, and how about the secondary form? This one is in here. This is without chinmad bhava.
It will just be the guna by sarva dhatu karthatuka yoho.
So a neshyadvam. So that is the alternative form. So if you were not to be led by a fool, then you would have conquered or you would conquer. Again, this could be bhutarte atha bhavishyati api. So we don't know. From the sentence we don't know. Of course, the fact is you will be led by a fool and you're going to be you're not going to conquer. That we know. That you are going to be led by a fool and you're not going to conquer. But it's already happened or will happen in the future, that we don't know. But otherwise this event is going to happen. You're going to be led by a fool, all of you, and you're not going to conquer. That fact we know. Okay, so this is a taste for you of this one. Again, this one is very, very rare. This conditional rung lakara in the I would really like to put some money on somebody for example of this for me, please. You have to find a rung lakara in the passive with chinmad bhava. I really would be very surprised if anybody finds something like that. I mean, barring in Vyakarana books, it would be very, very difficult to find a usage like this one. This na-yishyadvam, anayishyadvam. 1 in a million chance of finding that. So don't worry about it too much. But if you can look at the shya, look at the adagamaha, lung lakara is fixed. Then if you look at this inside here, if you can recognize chinmad bhava, it's fine. At least look at the atmanipadam ending. Look at the karta and thitiya. These two together, this dvam with murkhena, this means it's a passive form. And if you see a passive form, then if you know chinmad bhava, fine. If you don't, you can look it up in the adhikara ardhadhatuke. The remaining thing you should know. You should know the adagamaha, you should know the sya pratyaha, lung lakara. Second thing, atmanipadam ending with the karta and thitiya. Means it's going to be a passive form. And this last thing of chinmad bhava, honestly, if you remember, it's good. If not, I hope you can look it up in the adhikara of ardhadhatuke. Okay, we have about 15 minutes left. Let us introduce this one, Ashi Ling. Okay, what is Ashi Ling? This ling can be used in this special case of ashis. Ashis means the dhatu is a plus shas, ashas. Ashas is a special meaning. It also is the apnipadi dhatu. It becomes, in connection with it becomes apnipadi dhatu, ashaste. Means to wish something or bless somebody to do something. Okay, haven't done Gita today. Let us inaugurate Gita. Gita yaha udghatanam. There's only one usage, best of my knowledge. That also I should say. I mean, I keep on saying Gita. I mean, I'm not like an authority in Gita, but to the best of my knowledge, there's only one usage of the Ashi Ling in the Gita. And that is also Arjuna Vacha. Nahi prapashyami mamapanudya yachokam uchoshnam indriyanam avapya bhuma vasapatnam vruddham rajyam suranam api chadipatyam. Nahi prapashyami mamapanudyat apanudyat. Apanudyat would be, this is the one. Nahi prapashyami. I really don't see. I really don't see what would I wish to remove the sorrow of the yachokam uchoshnam indriyana, which is drying up my senses. I really don't see what could possibly, I wish would remove the sorrow which is drying up my senses, even if I were to get the lordship of the whole earth, or even the kingdom of the gods. That's what he's, or the rulership of the gods. That's what he's saying, So, but even this usage is almost like a Vidiling usage, So, Karthik, what would be the Vidiling form of this?
Vidiling would be
Apanudyat, apanudhatu, apanudyat.
would be plus.
First, what gana is dhatu nud? You start from there, right?
I think it would be the sixth gana.
Yes, I think sixth gana. Nudati. You can check that, but sixth gana. Then what would be the form? What's the form of dhatu bhu in the Vidiling in third person singular?
Bhavet.
Bhavet. What would be the form here?
It should be Nudet.
Nudet. Apanudet would have been the form. But so, I really don't see what would remove the sorrow, which is drying up my senses. Yachokam uchoshanam indriyanam. So that sorrow which is drying up my senses, which is sucking up my sense, uchoshanam indriyanam. I don't know what will remove that, Because indriyanam uchoshanam. So it comes down here. So this also is one usage in, I think I know only one usage in the Bhagavad Gita, only one place. And that also really, it is really used almost like in the Vidiling sense, because it's also wish, or I guess you could say wish. That sorrow which is drying up my senses, I really don't see what I wish would remove it. Yeah, it's possible, but it's anyway. So that just shows you that this Ashi Ling is not a very common form. It is much less common than Vidiling, much less common. Vidiling, there's so many places in Gita, so many places, But this one is, in fact, if you give me a minute, if you look at the commentary, and if you look at what Sridhara, my favorite Gita commentary, just like the Bhagavata commentary, is by Sridhara Swami. Very short and sweet, very Vyakaran-wise, of course, 100%. And, of course, Shankara goes in a lot of discussions on Vedanta, which Sridhara doesn't do. And though he is also an Advaitin, so to speak. It doesn't matter. For Vyakaranam, for us, it's a fantastic commentary. If you just want to learn Gita Vyakaranam, read Sridhara commentary first. That will be less chance for you to be lost, So this number is what? 2.8, looking at the Gita commentary and see what the different acharyas have to say. Let's see what Sridhara he says. Indriyanam uchoshanam atishoshakaram, extremely, kind of parching my senses. Madiyam shokam yat karma apanudyat equals apanayet. Okay, so he gives a paryaya shabda. He says apanud, he says apani, to remove. Nud is to kind of to propel, apanud, apanudyat, apanayet. So again he gives a Vidiling usage in place of the Ashiling usage. So apanud replaced with apani. Apanudyad equals apanayet is what he says, So that's what. So that's what I was telling you. Even this usage is kind of just basically like a Vidiling usage. Okay. So of course this is not as rare as the Lung, I must say. In Gita at least you have one usage, right? But it is not very common. So having said that, let's see what. So in terms of blessing, simple thing like Dirgha Ayushman Bhuyaha. Dirgha Ayushman Bhuyaha. Of course, there also what's happening is Ashishi Ling Loto, right? So the Ashishi Ling and Lot can be used. And because the Lot forms are very, very easy to use, I think most people will say Dirgha Ayushman Bhava, Saubhagyavati Bhava. Nobody will say, Dirgha Ayushman Bhuyaha, because if you say, they may not know what you're saying also. So that is the reason why even there people will use the Lot only, Dirgha Ayushman Bhava. Very few will say Dirgha Ayushman Bhuyaha. So that is because the Sutram says, Ashishi Ling Loto. So let's see where it comes. This also will be in Lakarta Prakriya. It will come there. It must be somewhere here. Ashishi. Here it is. Ashishi Ling Loto. 31173. So in the Ashirvad Artha, you can use Ling or Lot. And Lot is easy because Dirgha Ayushman Bhava. Dirgha Ashman Bhuyaha. At least, but if you say Dirgha Ashman Bhuyaha, then, so like Vijayi Bhuyaha. So I wish you to be successful, you to be victorious, or I bless you to be victorious, successful. So you can Vijayi Bhuyaha, Dirgha Ashman Bhuyaha. The speaker is wishing that that person, that you, Bhuya means you. So I wish you to be long-lived, or I bless you to be long-lived. Saubhagyavati Bhuyaha. I bless you to be endowed with, the good fortune of having a good husband. So these are the ways you translate that. The speaker wishes that that thing should happen, in whatever the third person, second person, first person, whatever it might be, Okay, so that will be the English translation of that. Now let's start a little bit of grammar. Only 10 minutes left, but let me give you a little bit of homework, okay? Says the verbal root is treated as in the passive voice. Where did you get that from now? Let's see. Okay, and the year of the passive being replaced by the following terminations. Okay. Let's do a simple. Let's take the dhatu G which he has taken. Okay. So do some. Let's try to do this one dhatu today, and then we'll stop with that. We'll see what all rules comes in. So let's start with G plus ling, and it is Ashirvadartha. So Ashishi. You understand Ashishi. Why do I say Ashishi? Because in Ashishi, okay, what's the question? Some special rules come in Ashishi. Yes, Vasu?
Satish ji?
Yes.
Just this, where the Ashirvada mantras will profusely use this, right?
They should have it. But even there, they can use some other ways of saying it, Like they might use the dhatu Yajamanasya Ashaste, Ashaste. They keep on saying Ashaste. So you don't need directly use the dhatu Ashaste itself you use. Or that as I said, because of the Ashishi Ling Lotau, Lord can also be used. So yeah, they use. They can actually in the Rudram in the ending, the Shanti Patha which is there. Ida Devahor Manurayajnani Brahaspati. In the end, Vacham Udyasagam. Udyasam. That Udyasam is dhatu vad. Udyasam. Let me say things which will please the ancestors and which will also be, good things that we say. Vacham Udyasagam. So that's that Udyasam is a rare Ashirling form. Because it's taken Samprasaranam. We will see the rules today. Yes, in Veda mantras we have them. But, again, not that common, not that common. But you should know the rules because they're not completely uncommon either. See, the thing is, the good news about the Lrung Lakara was just so uncommon and so easy to spot that, you don't need to learn many rules, But here, unfortunately, there are many rules, not many, there are rules. And it is not a very uncommon usage. So even though the usage is only 10%, 5% maybe, less than that also. But it is there. And we have to know some rules. So in the last Rudram, the last line, Vacham Udyasagam, so that one is there. In the Udyasam is there, Udyasagam. So it is used probably more in Vedas, I accept the point, but still not that much. Okay. So let's do maybe only one form. Let's look at the dhatu G and see how far we can go. Now actually in the Rudram, let me give you the exact mantra which I was just telling you. In the last part it comes Ira Devahor Manurayajnanir Brahaspati Ruktha Madani Shagam Sishad Vishve Deva Suhoktavacha Prithibhima Dharma Mahigum Sir Madhujmanishche Madhujanishche Madhuvakshami Madhubadishyami Madhumatin Devebhyo Vachamudyasakam Shushrushenyam Manishye Ebhyastamma Deva Avantu Shobhaji Pitaro Numadantu. Let me say those things, which to people who want to hear and who are which let the gods protect that and let the ancestors gladly approve of that. So that is what Vacham Udyasakam. So may I say those? So I wish to say those things, Vacham Udyasakam. So Udyasam, that is in fact here if you look at the endings here in the book, you can see the here Jiyasam, Udyasakam. It becomes Gam in Yajurveda, of course, Udyasakam. Anyway, let's see what we can do. Let's see dhatu G. Let's see what. So let's go the long way. This is the first part with G plus ling. Always the first step. Everybody in the class should know that first step now. Dhatu plus lakara. Very, very simple step. Dhatu plus lakara. And the next step is halantyam upadeshajananasikit lasya. Tip plus G. So dhatu G is a prosopodic dhatu. So we have used the tip ending and always start with the pratham purusha as per the Paniniya Sampradaya, not like in English. So we put a tip. Okay. Now this one is by, of course, by 3478. Now the next sutram which comes is yasut prasnipadeshu udatto nicha. Yasut prasnipadeshu udatto nicha. So in the ling, in vidhi ling and ashi ling, in prasnipadam, you get this. It also will come in the 3.4. 3.4. So look at 3.4. Yasut prasnipadeshu. This is an agamaha, because yasut, because of the ters and it. No, is it 3.4? Maybe I'm wrong. Yasut prasnipadeshu udatto nicha.
It will come below lasya only.
I'm sorry?
It will come under lasya.
Actually, you're right. 34103. I'm looking at it. It should be, yes, it is right here. 34103. Because yasut prasnipadeshu udatto nicha. Because linga siyut, of course, how can I forget? Linga siyut is 34102. That's the utsargaha. Is when a ling pratyaya is there, you should get a siyut agamaha. Linga siyut. And then the next sutram said, yasut prasnipadeshu udattaha. Udatta swara, which doesn't affect us, that's the Vedic swara. And then nicha. So of course the siyut will be utsarga will remain in the atmanepade. And then in the prasnipadam you will get the yasut agamaha. They'll make it nicha also. And so when this yasut agamaha comes, it brings a nitness with that. So even if the pratyaya which is tip, sip or mip, it was a pit pratyaya. Now we got this nit bhava coming with the yasut agamaha. So now in that case, in fact, let's do it right here. When we do this one, when we have the G plus tip. See before, okay, let's do that. I want to mention one more thing before we go there, is that so G plus yas plus, of course, in tip you can do the halantyam tip. Now G yas ti. The question here is that the pa of the tip, this is a pit pratyaya. The yasut is only an agamaha, and it can only come and join the tip, and it yad agamastat guni bhavati. It becomes a part and parcel of that. It will take all the properties of tip pratyaya. It just becomes joined there, but the pratyaya is not changing. But this sutram Panini says yasut prasnipadeshu udatto nicha. So it brings a nit bhavaha to wherever it goes. So it transmits this bhava of nas and it transmits that to the pratyaya. It goes and joins the pratyaya. Of course, because of the ters and it is going to go to the beginning in the yasut. The yasut is the us and upadeshajana nasika it, and the ters halantyam and adyantau takitau. Adyantau takitau. So this was really, I should keep it like this. This was what the pratyaya was. I know we're almost out of time, but maybe we'll just do this one form and we'll stop with that. We'll do the yasut is like this. Yasut was like this. And anubandha lope, remove the it letters, becomes yas. It becomes yas. Because of the halantyam, upadeshajana nasika it, and because the ters in it, you have to use the adyantau takitau. So what we have used the 34103 yasut prasnipadeshu udatto nicha, and then adyantau takitau. 146 is what we have. Now the pratyaya coming is bringing the nit bhava with that. So it's going to say this yas plus ti is going to be a nit pratyaya. But tip itself is a pit pratyaya. So those two are conflicting now. In the Mahabhashyam, Patanjali says nitya pinna picha ninna. Nitya pinna picha ninna. So nit pratyaya will not be pit. Pit pratyaya will not be nit. So they will never have the they will never coexist with each other. They will never coexist. So so the fact that Pani is specifically saying this yasa is going to become nit pratyaya, the pitness of the tip is lost. Even though there's no sutram for that really, because vachana samarthyat, and you can say bhashya pramanyat, that the nitcha pinna, pitcha ninna. So pit cannot be nit, nit cannot be pit. This sutram specifically saying yasa to be a nit bhavaha. So that can really have the purpose of only removing the pit bhava of the tip. So when you put that together, this yasti is now going to become a nit pratyaya. So that's what's going to happen, even though tip has purs in it. That's number one. Second thing is that why not shap over here, Karthik? What do you think?
Because it is linga shishi ardha dhatukam.
Linga shishi ardha dhatuka sanya. So what Karthik is saying is that tiptaji normally, because thing is savadhatukam, should be a savadhatuka pratyaya. But linga shishi, as I mentioned to you in the class earlier today, because linga shishi and litcha, these two, so in the reverse are litcha, linga shishi. These are the two lakaras, 3, 4, 1, 1, 5, 1, 1, 6, where the tiptaji itself become ardhatuka pratyayas. Only in these two lakaras, because ardhatukam shesha, litcha, linga shishi. So by 3, 4, 1, 1, 6, we did not get any shap, etc. So there was no gana vikaranam. So this dhatu is jayati is a pashkana dhatu. So no shap, because the shap is only sarva dhatuke. Kartari shap sarva dhatuke. So shap cannot come here because of that. Okay. I know time's running out, right? Okay. Just do this one form and we are stopping now. This 3, 4, 1, 1, 6. So no shap because of. Okay.
And Satishji?
Yes.
Like yasut will be kit in ashishi, right? By kida shishi.
Yes, kida shishi. Yes, good point. So now yas first udato nitya. So kida shishi. So now actually it doesn't. So now can those coexist, by the way?
No, I think kid will be an apavada for nit in this case.
Why cannot they both coexist? So, you can do both the work, right? Which you do with nit pratyaya or kit pratyaya. So can you not do both the works? Are they conflicting? Any conflicting operations? Any conflicting operation? Let me see. What number is kida shishi?
I think it will be the next one to yasut parasmay.
Okay, you got it. Okay. So here actually it's made a kit pratyaya, kida shishi. So good. I always make mistake at the end of the class. I make some mistake at the end of the class. All right, you know what? Let's stop with that. So next time we'll continue with that. So leave it with this thought for today. This yasur pratyaya, it was prasipudeshu udato nitya, but kidashishi. Thank you, Karthik. So we have one more thing over here is 3, 4, 1 of. We'll start from this next time. Yasur being a kit pratyaya, we start from there. Okay. If you want to do some homework, look at these sutra numbers here. The passive voice, because as I said, it's the same which Karthik was talking about, 3, 4, 104, because the kit pratyaya is the same property as the yak. The savadhatuke yak is also yakara pratyaya, also kit pratyaya. Kida shishi also same thing. It's because of yasut agamaha, so become a yakara pratyaya, also become kit pratyaya. Okay, and then look at these 3 rules, please. The 7, 4, 25, 28, 29. Okay, then we already saw the yasut agamaha, and then you're going to get the score sanyogadurantecha 8 to 29 for these two places, 8 to 29. Okay, and then 3, 4, 108 for this us ending here, 3, 4, 108, and for the samprasaranam in the last one is 6, 1, 15 samprasaranam, and also look at 3, 4, 107. Okay, that's some homework for you. We will start from the beginning and do this again next time. Okay, so anyway, good point that pratyaya, this yasut is kit in ashirling. Okay, we'll start with that next time. Ramo Rajamani Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Vijay Ramena Vyata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Rama Nasti Paranam Bharataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittale Sada Bhautame Bho Rama Mamuddhara Rama Rame Ti Rame Ti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tatulyam Ramanama Varane Shri Ramanama Varanana Ondama Iti. Any questions?